Oh, hello there. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman. We're doing things a little bit early today. We've got to rearrange the schedule, as I keep telling you, so be cautious about that. Delicious. 053, good to see you. And yes, hard at work as always. Site 42 staff are always needing education in the anomalous arts, and that is what I'm here to do. Hey there, Seagull. Good to see you. Runes, drawing, love the art. Keep doing that. Well, not while you're taking a break, that's fair. Carson, thank you for being a member. I just saw your super thanks on the Shower Thoughts video. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Silent follower, good to see you in the chat as well. Hello, hello. Just let me make sure I've got everything calibrated here. We have approximately about an hour to chat today. It's a short stream, so let me know your questions and I will answer them to the best of my ability. We're all here to learn about the SCP Foundation after all. Foxy, you're here in every single stream but never get noticed? It's a bit late for that. It turns out you've been noticed. Hi, hello. Elentinia. Yes, this morning's tests were especially rigorous. It is good to have survived. Oh, my word. Just a brief touch with... Can't do that right now. So a couple streams ago, we talked about testing SCP-4521 with SCP-729-J. The entire staff present for the test, in some manner or another, projectile erupted from one orifice or another out of disgust and fear of that object. And yet the tree stood there stone-faced. I've never seen anything like it. And I never want to see anything like it again. Dr. Randall, your 4th week here at the Foundation. Well, I would suggest as advice for you to avoid... No, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to insult the commissary stuff like that. Avoid the meatloaf in the commissary. It is not good today. Kai, hello, hello, and thank you for being a member. "106 touched me and now I have a big boo-boo." Well, that's what acid touch will do to you, so be a little more cautious next time. Carson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself anything but meatloaf at the commissary, if I'm being honest. One last thing before work. You mentioned your favorite MTF was Kappa 7. I haven't heard of them. Could you give a brief explanation? Let me double check I'm not giving you the wrong name, by the way. It's always good for me to double check with all these different mobile task forces. I was wrong. It's Kappa 5, the Haughty Librarians. Kappa 5. And they are a mobile task force dedicated to anomalies that are found in libraries. So maybe they're entities inside the books. Maybe the the bookshelf has come to life and is eating people. I don't know. But their job is to peruse the libraries of America looking for anomalies and bringing them back to containment. They are originated in SCP-3086. Although they don't play a particularly prominent role. Casual idiot. If the tree screams and no one's there to hear it, did it happen? Well, trust me. If the tree screams, someone will be there to hear it, because we will have made it happen and succeeded at our intrepid mission. That being said, if I were to find out that the tree has been screaming all this time, but while the recordings have been off and while no one is present, that would just add insult to injury, and I don't appreciate it. Damien the Drolf, thank you for becoming a Site42 member at the Level 1 Researcher tier. Welcome to staff, and we appreciate your membership. O5 in the chat. I repeat, O5 in the chat. Keep yourselves professional, everybody. Forest Eyes, that's not a bad idea. Where did the black lab coat go? I'm confused. Dr. Scott, don't have to worry about it. What's happening is because I'm in the audio lab and it's very dark, it makes it difficult for the camera to pick up proper lighting. So when I'm in the dark room, I wear the white lab coat just so it's easier to see. SCP-3000 wants to know if I have encountered a Leviathan SCP or a giant SCP at all. Are you asking me for dating advice? Sorry, not fraternizing with the anomalies also applies to you and other anomalies, SCP-3000. So, no, I don't know anybody. I don't think Ralph the Dapper Skeleton is interested. Although Ralph is very large. Hello, Cat. Yippee, I managed to make it in time for a live. Welcome to the live. Make sure to hit the bell. Our scheduling is quite random. So you got to hit that bell so you know when we're live, because we never know when we will be. By the way, I found a new SCP short film called The Hallways. It was pretty good. I recommend it. I am not familiar with this. Let me take a look online. SCP The Hallways. Well, that's such a generic name, it didn't come up. You got to work on your SEO, people. If you don't optimize for the search engines, people may not find what you have wonderfully made. It is just as important to internet video creating as internet video creating. SCP The Hallways. Okay, there we go. 2 weeks ago, SCP The Hallways Backrooms inspired live-action film. Okay, I'm going to save this to my watch later, and perhaps we can react to that. Fantastic. It's, it is a 54-minute boy. That is a chonky short film. Okay, interesting. Well, we'll have to check that out. There we go. Interesting question. Let me look that up before I... Ah, yes. You're asking about SCP-2430, the immortal Hitler clone. Ay, caramba. Sometimes those German groups of interest can be very problematic. But he's locked in a box, so we don't have to worry about him. I'ma just draw a new fan art. Have fun drawing, Cat. We always appreciate artists. The Foundation, at the end of the day, is a writing community after all, so art always art always wins. How many containment breaches at Site 42? Well, Deutsch Division, right now we are free and clear. Everything is hunky-dory this morning. Knock on wood. Hopefully it stays that way. The average breach calendar is about once a week or so on a good week. It obviously gets worse, and sometimes there's cascading containment failures, but we do our best to stop that from taking place. Another question, is there any test to figure out if your researchers are anomalous? It wouldn't be hard to just sneak in as an anomaly. Well, usually it's pretty clear to see when someone has an anomalous ability because they're doing something that's freaky deaky and not natural. And so in that case, it typically happened at the behest of some failed experiment, or maybe they were born with it. Maybe it wasn't Maybelline. So in that case, very often we will take anomalous people, and if they are of a caliber of working for the Foundation, we can put them to use. I mean, it's easier and cheaper than keeping them in a locked box after all. But they have to prove loyal to the Foundation, and they have to have a particular set of skills. Seriously, someone send Mobile Task Force Kappa 5. My light novel is literally trying to put me in the story by making a portal to swallow me up. So here's the thing. It's library anomalies. It's not book anomalies. That's different. So if you're in your home, that would be the Isekai division. I forget their call sign right now. But that's certainly different unless you are in a library. I understand. Common mistake. Ansen, good to see you in the chat. Bonjour. Dr. Scott, are you going live again this evening? Unfortunately, no. Today I am stacked full of research to do, and so I'm going live a short time here in the early afternoon because I do not have time at all later on. Plus, here we are earlier in the day, we'll catch some different time zone people than we usually do. Call sign Phoenix, can you please remove gender-swapped 049 from my unit? Listen, 049 made a deal to help the Mobile Task Force. Unless you have a good cause to have them removed, they haven't broken their deal yet. You would have to have some sort of disciplinary reason for them to be removed. So, other than that, stop being weird. Evan, you said, please listen to me, I have the world's biggest question, and yet you didn't ask the question, unless the question was, can you listen? Because then the answer is yes. But if the chat flies by and I miss your question, you wasted your shot. So you got to make sure to ask your question straight up. Unola, thank you for subscribing to Site 42, as well as Beta 2267. Welcome to the team. Frederick, I'm part of the GOC. Well, yes, that was the point, to make you a double agent and to uncover their secrets to help us take and contain their anomalies so we can study them. Obviously. I mean, you wouldn't be here if you just worked for the Global Occult Coalition, because then you wouldn't be able to see this stream. There are mimetic filters keeping Foundation staff only allowed to see this. And if this is how you're being woken up as a sleeper agent to understand that you're actually working for the Foundation, well, welcome to the team, buddy. Do good work. When am I going to play Lobotomy Corp? Well, I would like to get through some more SCP games first. The first one I have in line is SCP-5K, although it's a tactical team shooter, so I'm not sure how much I will see there. But I got to give it a try because I'm helping them out with lore stuff, so might as well give them a shot and see how that game is. And then Go Home Alice is next on the list after that because I hear it's a story-focused SCP game, and I'm very interested in the story they want to tell. But Lobotomy Corp is on the list. Don't worry about that. It is a very popular SCP game. Like, I have to try it out. The Eagle Kid, welcome to the stream. Grime Reaper, thank you for becoming a member at the Mobile Task Force Captain tier. Remember that gives you access to our early release videos here on the channel. I think we have a SCP reading or two in the backlog right now, so you can check those out immediately. Dr. Sherman, if you had a favorite SCP, what would it be and why? I will tell you my favorite SCPs right at the end of stream. It's kind of a stream tradition. End of stream is in about 30 minutes, so I'll let you know when we get there. That one gay protogen, thank you for being a member and welcome to the stream. Hello. Gojo JJK guy, I subscribe with notifications on and like this video. That is what heroes do. Oh wait, am I missing a donation right now? I don't want to miss that. Boat, thank you for donating to the stream for the first time today. Make sure to grab yourself some barnacle paste on your way past the commissary. Sir, I hear screaming. Is that a white man falling in the atmosphere? Oh dear God. Well, that could be one of many falling white men anomalies. It could have been someone touching that action figure that shoots you up in the sky and then makes you fall forever and ever and ever. That would not be good for them because they splat on the ground after doing that. There are a lot of things that could be. So don't fret for your own life yet. Wait until we see whose life is actually at threat here. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, I guess, some allergy medicine at the commissary. Sorry for my short stay. Seasonal allergies are acting up and I'm not feeling too well. It was nice popping in to say hello. Signing off. Stay strong, get some rest, and we'll see you back on site. Zerdrin, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being a member. And yes, I do happen to like this shirt. O5 Council, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to the staff. Would you try an SCP tabletop RPG? Well, I have put SCPs in my own tabletop RPG campaigns because that's a fun thing to do. But I hear that there are several modules of SCP as a TTRPG that have been made and or are currently in production. And so yes, if I gathered a troop to do an SCP-themed tabletop RPG, that might be a fun way to spend some time. Especially if we could, whether we played it for funsies or if we made content out of it. Like, everything must be made for content. I commented a piece of fictional writing I did on your latest member video that isn't the Shower Thoughts video. It's just a plan, but I really want your opinion on it. Well, I will see if I find it in the comments. We get a lot of comments, so it's kind of hard to spot, but Origami, I'll see what I find. Nuke Wizard, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Nuka-Cola on your way past the commissary. What happened to Site 1-41? I don't recognize that code of site designation with a hyphen in the middle like that. Let me see if it exists. I mean, of course, there's a Site 1 and a Site 41, but there's not a Site 1-41. That is a, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, what happened to Site 1 through Site 41? As in, because we're Site 42. Oh, that's fine. No, they're all working at optimum capacity. There are breaches here and there, but that's just life at the Foundation. No, they're all fine. And so is everyone 43 and up as well. Mallow of the Serpent's Hand. That's a team up I'm very against. Thank you for your first donation to the stream. I guess grab yourself some Cheez-Its on your way past the commissary that you're not supposed to be in if you're from the Serpent's Hand, unless you must be a double agent anomaly of... This is very confusing. Dr. Sherman, where's Mallow's friend SCP-6596? I miss them. And are they still at Site 100? From the cross-testing with Mallow as part of Project Isoropia. Well, I'm going to look at 6596 because I'm not familiar with that anomaly. Nor am I familiar with Mallow having friends. Okay, some sort of horse skeleton. Department of Sciences. Vaguely humanoid bipedal entity resembling a skeleton of an adult horse. White cloth covers the majority of the entity's anatomy. Video footage and eyewitness accounts can ascertain that 6596 possesses a pair of forelimbs and hands, along with 2 hooved legs, all constructed of bone. 2 silver-colored glass baubles are implanted in the eye sockets. Exact origin is unknown. 6596 is referenced in multiple texts and tomes recovered in A Place We Don't Talk About as a trickster entity of gluttony and greed. Additional information is further pending investigation. So, direct containment of 6596 is proven impossible at the current moment. However, due to its relationship with Site-120, 6596 does not pose a threat to the Veil. This combined with 6596's appearance pattern has shifted focus from direct capture and containment during the manifestation to temporary defensive measures. Oh, this is the one that keeps coming in and messing up the site and stealing all the stuff. Okay. I don't remember this one being related to Mallow, as you asserted. But, no, they are not at Site 100. They are bothering Site 120. Nuke Wizard, thank you for donating again. How many sites are there? Well, if I look at the current database for SCP site list, Foundation facilities list, the current furthest numbered that I have eyes on here extrasolar site anvil, site looped square symbol, protected site 0, site 666, which is in Under Vegas. It seems like 666 is the highest listed site. And you can check that out on the SCP Foundation Secure Facility Dossier on the SCPnet database. Boat, thank you for donating again. Sir, it resembles 096, but it isn't attacking. Are there any SCPs that copy the appearance of other SCP? Not very often. They're, of course, shapeshifters, but they usually don't shapeshift to anomalies they don't know about. So, considering how deep secret 096 is, I would imagine that a shapeshifter wouldn't know about its appearance to shapeshift it. So you must be looking at something similar, maybe the Rake, maybe something of that line. I mean, still dangerous, although you say it isn't attacking, but, I mean, from what you say, it's probably still falling from the sky, so be on your toes. All right, bottom of the chat. Does Abel have a strongest weapon he only uses when fighting strong opponents? Not that I know of. Abel has been known to pull out these, the Vorpal weapons, so to speak, if we nickname them something. And, I mean, it's all shapes and sizes. It's usually as a counter to whatever weapon it's being fought against with. Therefore, you're not going to deal with, if you're in a long hallway, you don't want to fight with a spear. You want to fight with a dagger. Because you're constrained. So it's usually tactical choices. Grime Reaper, thank you for donating 1 Site 42 membership. Whoever snaps that up, welcome to the staff and luck to you. Origami, you found out it was the last short I posted. All right, I'll look in the short comments after we finish stream. I know there's already a bunch of comments there, so I'll do my best. Damn, Anomaly Bunny, you actually managed to catch a stream. Well, if you're on good behavior enough in containment as an anomaly, then sometimes you get media privileges, so congratulations, keep up the good work. What is SCP-999's opinion on marshmallows? You know the sticky little guy enjoys any sweets, so you tell me what the position on marshmallows would be for 099. For 9999. 999. The United Nations Space Command. Welcome to the chat and thank you for your first donation to the stream. I have returned. I mopped. Don't upload that clip. Well, thank you and good job. As a reward, you can go get a cup of coffee from the commissary. Meats, congratulations on grabbing that membership from Grime Reaper. I am drinking a delicious smoothie. It's breakfast with my time zone and experiments things, so this is a quick pick-me-up before the main testing begins for the day. Who would win? Minecraft Steve versus every SCP, because SCPs are insane, and there is a Minecraft SCP because Steve can carry 64 times 27 to the 125th power cubic meters of netherite, 4 times heavier than gold, and can travel at 6C. You see, the thing is, though, while Steve has, if we took for a fact that Steve wasn't just a video game character, as opposed to any sort of actual anomaly, if we talked about Steve as if it were an actual anomalous entity, then while it does have certain strengths, it's still going to fall victim to all sorts of reality bending and different dimensional wonkery that some of our SCPs are capable of. That's the problem with trying to power scale with horror entities, is they're always weirdly game-breaking because they have to be impossible to comprehend for them to be the proper amount of spooky. That's why SCP is so hard to power scale with. Boat, thank you for donating again. Sir, have you ever tried using 343 to control Alt-F 096 out of existence? We would not do such a thing because we do not destroy anomalies here at the Foundation. We research them. And we can't research it if it's gone. So nope, we keep 096 in its box. It's perfectly fine as long as it doesn't get out. And that is a perfectly acceptable risk for us to take. Dr. Sherman, is the GRU Division P from the Russian Federation or USSR? Well, I'm not exactly super fluent in Russian governmental structures. So I guess the first thing I would do is I would look up the GRU and see when it was started. Not Grubhub. This is not sponsored. Get out of my face. Why would you go there? I never use that app. Darn it. No, I don't want Gru from... No. This is not a minion situation. All right, so the GRU is the Foreign Military Intelligence Agency of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation. So, I think that answers your question, Russian Federation. Formed in 1992. So yes, after, I guess, the GRU did have a Soviet Union branch as well. So I guess you could say that it has evolved from the Soviet Union to the USSR, or from the USSR to the Russian Federation, if that's how you want to put it. 049 stole the gender switching stone again. No. We're fine. We're fine. 049 currently has allowances to use the gender switching stone as long as it properly works with the mobile task force it's been assigned to. Once that deal breaks, however, then we're going to have trouble. Have you heard Among Us? Oh, Bubba Jack, not only have I heard about Among Us, I mean, who didn't in the year 2020 hear about Among Us in every which way? But I will have you know, in case you didn't, that Among Us is prominently featured in 2 different SCP articles. SCP-5167 is an anomalous player of Among Us named Thonis, a former, I believe, Greek deity who has become underpowered in this modern day due to a lack of belief. And so we traced Thonis through Among Us for a while to try and contain it. It ended up self-containing, so we didn't have to worry about that very much. But then in the future, SCP-5761, so very similar number, don't be confused. There's 5167 and there's 5761. Apparently, database, an AI that we use to track Among Us and Thonis, ended up going rogue and taking over a satellite. And so we had a whole problem when we had to bring Thonis back in to try and help us contain the Among Us satellite. You can enjoy those stories. They are bananas. So yes, not only do I know about Among Us, but it caused us a heck of trouble. How did you feel when you got framed with that SCP-7777 instance? It was particularly rude. I did nothing wrong. Everyone knew I did nothing wrong. That faker proving lies, very rude. Very rude is how I felt about that situation. Go read SCP-7777 if you want to see me being falsely accused of crimes I did not commit. Kaya Papaya, I have a question. My question is, why do you want to hear the tree scream? Well, before I even answer that, congratulations for saying I have a question and then actually asking the question in one message so that I don't see just I have a question and then never see you again. So good thinking. Secondly, if you read the SCP-4521 document, you will clearly see why we want the tree to scream. Because it's not screaming, and it should be. And because it should be and it's not, we need to make it. That's very, I mean, it's crystal clear, isn't it? That's very straightforward as a reason. Dr. Sherman, are there any spider-related SCPs? Gosh darn it. So, the worst of the bunch is SCP-3023. SCP-3023's title of documentation is, and then it decided to be an angry spider. And SCP-3023 is this little section of Germany in which random things keep turning into spiders. And it's such as a pill someone was taking turned into a spider in their throat. Ugh! I hate that. A Mercedes-Benz SUV turned into a giant robot spider. We had to airstrike that one. SCP-3023 makes me very glad I do not live in one particular section of Germany. Disgusting. Hate that. Bearded Expensive, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some toffee on your way past the commissary. Dr. Williams walks into your office. Dr. Sherman, I have requested the logs from last night's suggestion. I've also spoken to MTF. They're on case to contain the Scarlet King. Well, I mean, they are on task if that is their duty. I mean, we can't have every team doing the Scarlet King. We have other things to tackle. So be aware of that. Let's not overstack our resources in something that may come to pass at some uncertain time while there's anomalies to be containing in the here and now. We can't divert resources too willy-nilly here. What is your necklace? So this was made to me by a dear friend, Dr. Amara, and it is a holiday that I celebrate with my friends. It says Victory Friday. And so Victory Friday is a tradition I had with some friends back home in Tampa, Florida, where we would meet up it was Wednesday at first, and then it became a Friday, or it was Friday at first, but then we started doing it on Wednesdays, but still called it Victory Friday. I don't remember which way it went. It was, 10 to 12 years ago. But we would go out, and as a show of positivity and trying to persevere in life, we would share good things that happened to us no matter what. And then I left Florida to move to California, and I was out here for a while, and I didn't get in touch with a lot of people, and I worked so much that I don't make a lot of friends out here right now. The life of a Foundation researcher is very busy. And so what I started doing is I started doing Victory Friday posts on social media so that my friends back home could communicate and still team up. So it became not just one little group of friends, it became everyone who talked to me on social media. And so when Site 42 got big and all that, I decided to start doing Victory Friday with you guys to kind of spread this idea even further, because maybe it'll leave a positive mark on the world. But because one of my friends, Amara, found it so helpful, she made this as a thank you for the idea and as a special gift to me. We're besties. And so it was a very kind, adorable moment. Boat, thank you for donating again. What would happen if we put the Doomslayer from Doom Eternal in a room with 999? Well, on one hand, Doomslayer doesn't really discriminate between the things it mercs when they are demon adjacent. And so I would hope it wouldn't see 999 as a threat and would leave it be. On top of which, the way that Doom Guy has made friends with that little yellow thing from Animal Crossing, I forget its name right now, but if it were to be adorable enough that it became one of those little contrasting best friendies with it, then I would hope that 999 and the Doom Guy would be friends. Dr. Sherman, hi. Hello, Emilio. The Animator, what's your opinion on Dr. We Don't Talk About Bruno? I say this about once a stream right now because I'm trying to keep you guys in the loop of the rules. We don't talk about Dr. BRIGHT at Site 42's premises because the author of Dr. Bright caused a whole big controversy in the community, got banned, super banned from the community, to a point where there are, I would use the word victims sparingly, but we're trying to not talk about that character to not trigger victims. So, I'm the funny Doctor Man now. Clef's the funny Doctor Man now. We don't talk about Bruno. That is what I think of him. Amber, I saw you in the chat. Hi, hello, good afternoon / morning, wherever your time zone is. What is your favorite civilian game, as in no SCPs and everyone can play it? My favorite video game of all time is Earthbound. Earthbound. Wonderful. I got it as a kid. I had the big box with the player's guide. I still own them both. I bought out the Super Nintendo just a couple years ago to play it again and show it to a friend of mine. And then, oh my god, just so much fun. My second favorite game is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, for the Super Nintendo. This is, nostalgia. I was a kid back then. But in modern gaming, I've been having fun. Oh, no, just a quick add to this before I get lost. We do have a P.O. box. And so you can send things to Site 42. and I'm going to tell it to you right now, so you better write it down. It is Site 42, P.O. Box 2798, Union City, California, 94587. That is our P.O. Box, and that is where you would send things if you want to send them to Site 42. So yes, in modern gaming, I just finished Nier Automata, which was very fun, a very emotional experience. And then I had a really fun time with Returnal recently. I slept on that game. That was a blast. It was like playing Hades, but more weird Cthulhu energy. Bearded expensive. I highly suggest getting Scarlet King back under containment. While I understand resource management, we can't have SK making universes willy-nilly. Well, I mean, how can we contain something that's in another universe entirely? I mean, it's not like it's marching down Main Street. We have time. We have time. This isn't a don't look up situation. Trust me. You all have 10 minutes left in this stream, so get your questions in quickly. Hi, Dr. Sherman. My name is Crow, and I want to thank you for your videos, as they are what got me into horror writing and learned to appreciate the stories I can create. Thank you again. That is incredible. First and foremost, since SCP is a creative writing community, my goal is to help people inspire them to make art. So whether you get into writing or drawing or cosplaying or acting, all of these things, the world is a better place when there is more art. Full stop. And so if you make some art in your off time, if you make art a job or a hobby, because of me in some way, I count that as a win. It's a butterfly effect of victory across the world. Pixel Palette, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some paella on your way past the commissary. If SCP-343 turns evil, can you stop him? If so, how? Honestly, between you and me, I'm not sure that 343 isn't evil. I think it's all a big cover-up. I think the guy's just playing nice. I don't trust it at all. I think 343 is a big problem. But the last guy who said so publicly got erased from existence. Allegedly. Allegedly. So, yeah, let's just keep that between us for now. Dr. Sherman, do you know about Team Fortress 2? It's a game from 2007. I am familiar with Team Fortress 2 and the memes. I've never played it. I was more of a Counter-Strike guy back in the day. Emerin, 2521 doesn't attack you while you're in stream because we have certain mimetic filters that allow us to speak about it frankly, thankfully. But if you're not being taken when you talk about it outside of stream, it could be perhaps because you're in a universe where it doesn't exist in the first place, which, lucky you. Random Fandom, good to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. I know you say your favorite SCPs at the end of stream, but what's your favorite 001 specifically? Mine's the Flowers one. Mine is also the Flowers one, coincidentally. Lily's proposal just sounds nice. It's short, it's sweet, beautiful imagery. If any SCP-001 were going to be real, I hope it's that one. Both Productions, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bowl of chili on your way past the commissary. What about the replacement, Dr. Elias Shaw? Elias Shaw, I don't want to say he's cool, because he is kind of a dick. I mean, being immortal will do that to you. But, I mean, it's definitely a relief to have Elias around the site compared to Bruno. Scapegoat, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go grab yourself a tin can as you pass the commissary. Are you part of the Foundation's theater department? Am I part of the Foundation's theater department? I'm one of the acting coaches of the Foundation's theater department, and I've directed many a play among the staff. Am I part of the theater department? I might as well have founded it. I didn't found it, but I might as well have. Also, if you're interested in SCP as a play, let me suggest to you SCP Demasked, Demasqed. Demasked is basically a play about the Broken Masquerade written by Henzoid, an excellent SCP writer. I think actually went to school for screenwriting. And so that is a literal play on the wiki you can go check out about the Foundation. Meanwhile, if you're interested in SCP Theater, you can also check out the different SCP plays put on by Last Call Theater in Los Angeles that we've recorded for posterity here on Site 42. We've got the SCP Signals play, SCP The Showroom, that's based on the Infinite IKEA, and we've got the Church of the Broken God one, Reforged. And we still have one more night of Reforged to release. We've been just trying to catch up with other videos, but one night of Reforged is released, and we're going to release the other night soon. So yeah, if you want to check out SCP Theater IRL, you can go to LA, or you can check out our videos of those plays. And okay, 6 minutes left on the chat. Rolling down the questions. Meats. Oh no, your question went away because the chat scrolled. I hate when that happens. Oh, it showed up again. That's good. If you were to see 096's face while in space and he had a really good doctor, not 096 or 096-J, remove your brain and swap it with a D-class brain, would it attack your brain or the body? It would attack the brain that saw its face. So if you put your brain that saw SCP-096's face in another body, it would attack the new body, because it's about the brain having the image of 096 that matters. So that's not a good way to save yourself. Were you already able to accomplish your goal with the tree? Unfortunately not, but we're working on it. Dr. Sherman, I have a question. Is there an SCP that is close to Sonic or about Sonic? Well, I can check the database real quick. Sonic Hedgehog. Okay, so SCP-4904 is a modified GD-ROM storage disk manufactured by Sega, is a set of them. And what does it do? When read, 4904 instances cause the optical disk driver's reader to move in unpredictable ways, accessing disk data seemingly at random. Each game boots up as expected, but any action taken past the first loading screen causes the display to deteriorate into chaotic patterns within seconds. Okay, so that is some Sega discs, but not exactly Sonic the Hedgehog. It has to contain the word Sonic, otherwise it doesn't count. It seems like 3546 mentions Sonic the Hedgehog in some way, but it's just fan art of Sonic. And I know that in SCP-3086, we ended up, that anomaly accidentally overwrote Sega of America's website, replacing Sonic the Hedgehog with George the Chinchilla. That was a real pain to take down. We called it an April Fool's prank. Door, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself something out of the advent calendar on your way past the commissary. Someone made the SCP-372 song. SCP-372 song? I don't know anything of that you just said. 372. It's a creature of unknown genus. It's a peripheral jumper. Okay, yeah, peripheral jumper. I'm familiar. And so SCP 372 song. Oh, okay. A song about the peripheral jumper. Interesting.
It's the room of the peripheral jumper. And what does it look like? Well, I wonder. It has escaped, and that's for sure. Cause look at that open door. It is long and thin and very sensible. Every part of the body is flexible. It will always try to hide and stay out of your line of sight. And I said, 372, where are you? Hiding, stalking, it's annoying, but that's what it wants to do.
Okay, well, that's funny. Cute song. All right, well, thank you for showing me that. I'm not familiar with a lot of SCP music, so that's interesting. Deanactive, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some riboflavin on your way past the commissary. If I was with 682, will it think it is a toaster? I believe so, but due to the fact that 682 has the ability to take anomalous abilities and move them out into other people, I would not want it transferring me into the site staff. It would cause problems. Crayfish or Crawfish, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself some etouffee on your way past the commissary. If 999 is so friendly, why keep it contained? Because it's anomalous. And if it's anomalous, it needs to be in a box. We can't have anomalies willy-nilly making people's lives weird because they have to now cope with the existential dread of crazy anomalies. The public needs to know that the world is normal. So we keep the anomalies contained. We are at the last minute of stream, so I am ending out these donations and heading out. So let's get this done. Scapegoat, thank you for donating again. What would be worse, if you die to find yourself in hell or to arrive in heaven and find it in ruins? P.S. You're my fan casting as Mr. Fantastic. Oh, thank you very much. That's adorable and wonderful. I think I could stretch to reach that goal and that role. I think I'd rather be in a ruined heaven than hell, because at least ruined heaven is still less torture. It'd be a real shame, but just for my own personal benefit, I don't want to be in hell. King Sabu, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a sody pop on your way past the commissary. Hey, I have a question. So what if there was an anomalous person that could travel through parallel universes? How can you detain them? Parallel universe hoppers, teleporters, they're always the worst to contain. If we have a Scranton Reality Anchor active, that usually does the job. Or we can use some kind of thaumaturgy to bind them. But very often it's just a hassle. Like if you look at the Reluctant Dimension Hopper, we just put a tracker on him and hunt him down whenever he boops back. So it's tough. Door, thank you for donating again. What if SCP-372 looks at 096? Well, here's the thing. 372 doesn't look at you, it just stays in your peripheral vision. But I have a feeling that 096 could chase it down. Because it doesn't really look for you, it senses you. So rather than it just jumping in your peripheral vision, 096 will screech and get it. And that is the last donation, and I have to get back to testing. So this has been a wonderful coffee break. Very nice to hang out with you guys in chat. I will see you guys in the next stream. Random Fandom, we did not fix the budget problem yet, but I am living in hell and just dealing with it. We will find a way soon. I'm coming up with more plans every day to try and fix our shortfall. Besides, we can't get any SCP movies made or games without a bigger budget. So, Site 42 is going to the moon, baby. That's how this is going. With that, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well. Always remember to secure, contain, protect. And I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever been close to tragedy, or close to folks who have? Have you ever felt a pain so powerful, so heavy you collapse? No! Well, I never had to knock on wood, but I know someone who has, which makes me wonder if I could. It makes me wonder if I've never had to knock on wood. And I'm glad I haven't yet, because I'm sure it isn't good. That's the impression that I get.